guys, it's Rashad, and today we are going to be reading Miss Lizzy is Dizzy. And sorry that's been a long time since we recorded because we were on vacation for a while. And so, yeah, but we'll start recording daily now. So yeah, we'll start recording daily. So every day we'll upload a video, okay? But not every day, but like every weekday. But except Friday. So let me get started. Chapter 1, The Lockdown. My name is AJ, and I hate school. It was Friday, one of my favorite days of the week. You know why Friday was one of my favorite days? Because next day is Saturday, and then comes Sunday. And on Saturday and Sunday, there's no school. Yay! My teacher, Mr. Granite, is from another planet. He's always talking about our environment. Always recycle your plastic water bottles, Mr. Granite told us, because plastic water bottles can be made into plastic lawn furniture, and plastic lawn furniture can be made back into plastic water bottles, and plastic water bottles and plastic lawn furniture can be made into plastic cup holders, so you can relax and drink a plastic water bottle while you're sitting on your plastic lawn furniture and plastic. Mr. Granite didn't get the chance to finish his sentence because at that very moment, the school secretary, Miss Patty, made an announcement over the loudspeaker. "Attention," she said. Dr. Emmer is in the building." "Dr. Emmer is in the building," shouted Michael, who never ties his shoes. "Dr. Emmer is in the building," shouted Ryan, who will eat anything, even stuff that's not food. "Dr. Emmer is in the building," shouted Neil, who we called a nude kid even though he wears clothes. "Dr. Emmer is in the building," shouted Andrea Young, this annoying girl with curly brown hair who I hate. Everyone was freaking out. Who's Dr. Emmer?" I asked. "Emmer is short for emergency, Arlo," said Andrea. "She calls me by my real name because she knows I don't like it." You probably weren't paying attention when they told us about Dr. Emmer. "I wasn't paying attention to your face," I told Andrea. "It's a lockdown, AJ. That's what it means when they announce Dr. Emmer is in the building." Wait for a second. Wait. Hey. Oh yeah! Now I remember. Lockdowns are cool. Just in case a bad guy even ever breaks into the school, we have to lock our classroom door, turn off the lights, sit on the floor in the corner, and stay really quiet until the lockdown is over. Lockdowns are even cooler than fire drills. Fire drills are still cool because we get to stand around on the playground instead of learn stuff. One time I hypnotized Andrea and she went crazy and pulled the fire alarm. We all rushed over to the corner. Mr. Granite locked the door. He made us sit boy, girl, so we wouldn't talk next to each other. And I had to sit next to Andrea Young. Ugh, disgusting. Everyone stay calm, said Mr. Granite. We all sat without talking for like a million hundred seconds. Can we whisper now? I finally asked. Okay, Mr. Granite said, but quietly. I heard on TV that a crazy person escaped from a, a loony bin last week, I whispered. Really? Whispered Emily, who's Andrea's crybaby friend. You shouldn't say crazy person, Arlo, whispered Andrea. My mother is a psychologist. She told me she would say psychotic. Psychotic. Maybe the psycho who escaped from the loony bin is inside our school right now. Maybe it's a zombie psycho, Ryan said. Maybe it's a zombie cannibal psycho, said Neil. Maybe it's a zombie cannibal psycho who eats kids for breakfast, I said. Shh, said Mr. Granite. Stop trying to scare Emily, whispered Andrea. Emily is such a scaredy cat. I bet she would have run out of the room if we were in the middle of a lockdown. We're all gonna die, I whispered. I'm scared, said Emily. Me too, someone else said. Sheesh, get a grip, it's just a lockdown. I have an idea, said Mr. Grant. Let's hold hands to calm us down. Everyone take the hand of the person sitting next to you. Andrea looked at me. Hold my hand, Arlo, she said. No way, I'm not holding your hand. I'm not holding your hand. You have to, Andrea told me. Mr. Granite said so. I looked at Mr. Granite and he gave me one of those teacher looks. I held Andrea's hand. Ugh, gross. Ooh, Ryan whispered. AJ and Andrea are holding hands. They must be in love. When are you going to get married? Whispered Michael. Shh, said Mr. Granite. Andrea kept looking at me and smiling. If we were married, Arlo, we would hold hands like this all the time. She told me. Holding hands are so romantic. If we were married, I said, I would jump off a bridge. Oh, snap, said Ryan. You're mean, Arlo. I had to hold hands with Andrea in the dark for a million hundred minutes. I thought I was gonna die. Suddenly the door unlocked. The doorknob turned. It's a crazy person who escaped from the loony bin, whispered Ryan. Everybody was freaking out. And you never believed who walked through the door at that moment. Nobody. It's impossible to walk through a door. Doors are made of wood. If we could walk through wood, they wouldn't bother putting up doors. But you never believe who walked through the doorway. I'm not gonna tell you. Okay, I'll tell you. But you'll have to read the next chapter. So na boo boo on you. Chapter 2, Crazy Week. The person who walked through the doorway was Officer Spence, our school security guard. Officer Spence acts like he's a real policeman, but security guards aren't allowed to carry guns or beat up bad guys or do anything cool. It's all clear, Officer Spence announced. The lockdown is over. Yay! Everybody shouted. Thank you, Officer Spence, said Mr. Granite. I'm just doing my duty, sir. We all giggled because Officer Spence said the word duty, which sounds like duty. Okay, to say duty in school, it's okay to say duty in school, but you're not allowed to say duty. Grown-ups get really mad. No one knows why. They find the crazy person who wait. Did they find the crazy person who escaped from the loony bin? I asked Officer Spence. No, that person is still at large. They didn't find him. If they didn't find him, how do they know how big he is? I asked. Andrea rolled her eyes. At large means missing, Arlo, she said. Your face is missing, I told Andrea. Don't worry. Oh, snap, said Ryan. Don't worry, Officer Spence told us. I've got my eyes open. I hope so. It would be weird to walk around trying to find crazy people with your eyes closed. You'd bump into stuff. Officer Spence makes no sense. Mr. Granite went back to teaching us about recycling plastic, but a few minutes later there was a knock on the door. Who is it now? Mr. Granite looked annoyed. It was our principal, Mr. Klutz, and our vice principal, Mrs. Jaffe. Mr. Klutz has no hair at all. I mean none. But when he poked his head through the doorway, he was wearing a long blonde wig. Mrs. Jaffe had one on too. It was hilarious. To what do we owe the pleasure of your company? Asked Mr. Granite. That means what are you doing here in grown-up talk? And what's with the crazy hair? Next week will be crazy week at elementary school, announced Mr. Klutz. Monday will be crazy hair day, so everybody should come to school with crazy hair. Doesn't that sound like fun? Yes, said all the girls. No, said all the boys. And Tuesday will be crazy clothes day, so everybody should dress up crazy. You betcha. Wednesday will be crazy hat day, said Mr. Klutz. Thursday will be crazy shoes day, and said Mrs. Jaffe. And Friday will be everything day. Well, send a note to your parents in your backpack, said Mr. Klutz. That's silly. Parents can't fit in a backpack, except really small parents. But we wanted you to get excited about Crazy Week at elementary school. It's going to be one crazy week. By golly. I like our school wasn't crazy enough already. Chapter 3, Crazy Hair Day. Monday was Crazy Hair Day. My mom put this stinky gel stuff on my hair and she combed it all toward the middle of it to make a fade mohawk. She called it a faux hawk. It was cool. Michael sprayed green dye in his hair. Neil the nude kid had on a baldy wig. He looked just like Mr. Klutz. Ryan put on some orange stuff in his hair, but left thin dark lines in it. So his head looked like a basketball. Andrea and Emily put colored rainbows and ribbons in all over their hair. Even Mr. Granite had crazy hair. He showed up with purple dreadlocks. It was hilarious. You should have been there. After we put our backpacks away and pledged of allegiance, Mr. Granite said it was time for math. I hate math. Why do we have to learn math when there's calculators in the world? That's like walking 10 miles to the store when you could take a car. It's really hard to pay attention to math when your teacher has purple dreadlocks. In fact, it's hard to learn anything in the morning because we are all looking at each other's crazy hair. My mohawk was itching too. After after a million hundred hours, it was time for lunch, and then, of course, it was the best time of the day. Recess! Recess rocks. The only thing I like about school. We should go out on the playground. We get to go on the playground. We get to go out on the playground and do whatever we want. My friend Billy, who lives around the corner, told me that when you go to heaven, it's recess. It's like recess all the time. I want to play on the swings with Ryan, Michael, and Neil the nude kid. Andrea and her girly friends hung around so they could annoy us like always. So we were in the middle of minding our own business on the swings when this lady walked over from across the street with yellow hair. Well, her hair was yellow. Well, her hair was yellow, not the street. It would be weird if the streets were yellow. Anyway, the hair on both sides of her head were curled up into buns like Princess Leia from Star Wars. It looked like she was wearing muffs. Or maybe, or maybe she taped dinner bowls to her head. It looked weird. Hi kids, she said, my name is Elizabeth, but you can call me Miss Lizzy. We told Miss Lizzy our name. Andrea and Emily said they liked her hairstyle. Okay. Are you Princess Leia? Asked Michael. Are those dinner rolls taped to your head? Or are you wearing earmuffs? Goodness no, this is my real hair. Did you do that for Crazy Hair Day? No, I wear my hair like this every day, said Miss Lizzy. If you ask me, she should cut her hair and get earmuffs instead. Are you a new teacher? Asked Andrea, who never misses a chance to brown as a teacher. In a way, yes. The Board of Education decided that kids don't learn enough, so they started the Recess Enrichment Program. That means you kids get to learn new things during recess. Doesn't that sound like fun? Yes, said all the girls. No, said all the boys. What? We have to learn stuff during recess? What's the deal with that? Mrs. Lizzy told us boys to cheer up. She said that the recess enrichment program will be fun and she's gonna teach us a lot of cool things. But we're in the summer. It wasn't fair. If you ask me, recess is supposed to be a time for burning off energy and running around. Nobody told us anything about a recess enrichment program. It was the worst thing that happened in my life since TV turn-off week. Well, guys, let me check if I can read this part. If I can't, then this will be the end. Okay? So just wait for a second. Well, I'm going to read the next chapter, and that'll be the last chapter. Chapter 4, An Important Life Skill. Mother's Day was coming up on Sunday. Mrs. Lizzy said for our first recess enrichment project we should make some things for our mothers. I'm going to cook my mom breakfast in bed, said Andrea. How are you going to do that? I asked. Do you have a stove in your bed? No, Arlo, said Andrea, rolling her eyes. I'm going to make her breakfast on the stove, then bring it to her bed. Oh, I said, that's different. My mom loves to eat breakfast in her pajamas, Emily said. She should put breakfast on a plate. Your mom, I told Emily, your mom is weird. Emily looked all mad, like she was going to start crying, as usual. No, dumbhead, Andrea said to me, rolling her eyes again. Emily's mom doesn't put the breakfast in her pajamas. She 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 eats she eats it while wearing her pajamas. I knew that. I I just liked yanking Andrea and Emily's chains. Mothers like it was Mothers like it when you make them a gift for Mother's Day, Miss Lizzy told us. So today I'm going to teach you how to make the perfect Mother's Day gift. What's the perfect Mother's Day gift? Asked Ryan. A balloon animal, said Miss Lizzy. She pulled a long red balloon out of her pocket, blew it up, then she tied it and twisted the balloon every which way. It was really squeaky. The next thing we knew, the balloon animal was finished. See, Miss Lizzy, see, Miss Lizzy said, it's a little doggy. Here, I'll show you how to make one. Miss Lizzy's balloon dog was cool. It looked really like a dog. She pulled more balloons out of her pocket and gave one to each of us. It is really important for children to learn how to make balloon animals, asked Andrea. No, is it really important for children to learn how to make balloon animals, asked Andrea? Maybe we should use the recess enrichment program to improve our reading, writing, and math skills. Can you possibly be more boring? I asked Andrea. What's their problem? Reading, writing, and math are way overrated, and balloon animals are cool. Think of it this way, Andrea, said Miss Lizzy. When you grow up, you're probably going to go on a job interview one day. What would happen if you were on a job interview and they asked you how to make a balloon animal? And if you never learned how to do that as a child, you wouldn't get the job. That would be a shame. Unemployment is a big problem in our country. That's why it is so important for kids to learn how to make balloon animals. Yeah, in her face. I love it when Andrea's wrong. And I imagine if all the bad people in the world made balloon animals instead of committing crimes and hurting people, Mrs. Lizzy told us, the world would be a much better place, don't you think? Miss Lizzy made sense. I liked her a lot. She also made great balloon animals. We all blew them up and twisted them in every which way. I worked my way through college by making balloon animals, Miss Lizzy told us. I graduated with a degree in balloon animal construction. College must have been a lot cheaper in those days, I said. Some kids from other classes gathered around to watch us make balloon animals. It was cool. Maybe the recess enrichment program wasn't such bad after all. Well, that's going to be the end of us reading this part. The next chapter is chapter 5, Crazy Clothes Day. Well, I hope you guys had an like like the book so far, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. But bye.